What's up, guys? Welcome to Right About Now, where we're always right, and we're always right now. We're taking the BS out of business, baby. That's the tagline, but it's the truth.
This is Right About Now with Ryan Alford, a Radcast Network production. We are the #1 business show on the planet with over 1 million downloads a month. Taking the BS out of business for over 6 years and over 400 episodes. You ready to start snapping necks and cashing checks? Well, it starts right about now.
Right about now.
I can't believe none of you, most of you, the majority of you, are not fucking taking this shit more serious. Social media is free. They don't charge you when you post. Like, I don't understand what the fuck people are doing. Organic social media is the most important thing in the world. Figure it the fuck out. Stop crying. Stop bullshitting. This is fucking it.
One target market, one person, find one problem, just one little problem. That's where a lot of successful businesses are being started today. They are micro solutions that can build and bud into something much, much bigger. And in real life, I'm like, if I'm not at least a little bit nervous about the next project I'm working on, if I'm not maybe a little bit uncomfortable because it's pushing me, it's getting me outside of my comfort zone, then I'm probably doing the wrong thing. I'm always now looking for the fear and looking for the nervousness. I used to avoid it, but I found that growth comes when you break things. And sometimes it's hard, but you learn from those and then you grow even bigger as a result.
It's really just about having the right training in place so that when you hire people, they're not just clicking buttons and doing stuff. They're actually doing needle moving activities which generate revenue, and having systems in the back end so everything's tracked, simplified, and there's no chaos. If you got a product where you sell someone once and then they'll never buy from you again,
Difficult.
It's real difficult. It's real difficult. And that kind of transitions over to my current talent management company as well. You need to get in a customer and then keep selling to them because it's easier. It's so much cheaper. I think the number is it's about, 18 times cheaper to remarket to someone that's already bought from you than to try and get in a new customer from cold marketing.
Yeah.
It's 18, something like that. Insanity. So if it costs you $100 to find a new customer, it'll just cost you $2.50 or $3, maybe $4 most to remarket to a current customer to get them to buy something else from you again.
I don't know that people realize the amount of risk tolerance and or risk that's involved in growing a business and really the mindset you kind of have to have.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of risk tolerance and pain tolerance, quite frankly. It's said that there's a fine line to drive off a cliff, and so you got to be mindful about which one you're being. I think that's really like why people, I think, can relate to our story is we didn't go try to invent TikTok or Snapchat or Facebook. We took a simple business, trucks and labor. We put a very intentional focus on a creative name, a creative image, and then a very intentional focus on the customer experience and the team member experience as well. And, I credit that to the compounding effect of our, like we said earlier, 20-year overnight success.
I think building businesses is like improv. When a comedian goes on stage and tells a joke, they get the audience's reaction and then they tweak it for the next time. And then they tweak it again and again and again. And it could be 20, 30 times before they're tweaking that same joke and it nails it. You got to constantly learn from your audience and what's working and what doesn't work, what the consumer's reacting, how the trade's reacting. And it's constantly evolving. So it's not a presentation. It's kind of a presentation's got to live. And that's what we're doing.
What is it that ultimately makes something sell?
It's two things. So one is the offer and the messaging behind it. So like how big of a problem does your offer solve? How fast does it solve it? And what's going to happen to the avatar if they don't get that result? So having kind of a safety net. The second side is all curiosity. And that comes down to good copy, good messaging, good infatuation.
It's excuses. And you know this. We all know this. You get caught up in it. You don't know it, but once you really reflect, it's excuses because you're focused on things that you don't have control over, And
well, that's what they're trying to do to us, right? Like that's what the news is. That's what society is. That's what politicians. That's what parents like. That's what schools do. Like you don't control shit in like most of your life. This is why I love. It's so funny. After my last rant, like none of that matters. Meanwhile, I'm trying to build an empire. I'm not demonizing success or winning. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to get people to be healthy about it. So once they get there, they can stay there.
Accepting responsibility is the turning point in your life. Most people are still blaming someone or something else. No, what you'd say is the magic words, I am responsible. You know, it's interesting. Negative emotions are the biggest single enemy that human beings have. And the way that you cancel a negative emotion is when you think of it and you say instead, I'm responsible.
The capacity for hard work is something that I greatly value. My willingness to work hard is something I greatly value. If I have to work hard all the time, it means I suck at managing my life. I think for a lot of entrepreneurs that I'm so busy is like a mantra of success. And you know, people, how are you? I'm so busy. Being busy is a sign that you actually don't know how to manage your shit. That's really what it means.
The truth of the matter is most of the things I was doing and some of the things I'm doing now, there are a slew of people that can do them better.
You surround yourself with people that are a higher level than you. And lo and behold, you're now at a higher level than them.
I call that opportunity adjacent. I try to always put myself into that situation. And listen, you can look at that and call it luck, but nothing about it was luck. No. It wasn't luck that first thing I did when I got to Florida was I sought out connections. It wasn't luck that I went to lunch, all of these types of things. So anyway, you get the drill, but for listeners, it's super important. And really, my whole platform is really, if I can do this, if I can be here today on your podcast at the Aspire stage last week, there's not a script that Hollywood could have written that puts a young Derik from where I started to here. In fact, if they made that movie, you'd watch it and go, that's unbelievable. They've gone too far.
Everybody today takes the shortcuts. Don't do the whole sprinkler effect, if you will, and sprinkle shit everywhere. Be very targeted in what you're really looking for.
When stupidity sets in is actually when you're aware of that you're not putting in what you have, you're not showing up, and you choose still not to do so anyways. Yeah. Don't get yourself down for only having 40%. Beat yourself up for not showing up or not giving that 40% that you have. That's the stupidity that can hop on. It's like, it takes more time and effort, dude, to backtrack and get to where you were to continue to execute on that original plan.
Yeah.
Every time you get thrown a curveball, you have to reevaluate. Mm-hmm. What doesn't change is your endpoint whatsoever.
And, you know, we didn't get into playing music in our garage when we were kids thinking one day, okay, we're going to have to be like, you know, quasi-influencer / like content creator type thing as well. But I mean, and you don't want to get lost in those things, but they, in the same sense that you said it's a blessing and a curse, it really is. It's like, it can be an amazing tool for you to use. And it's a way that, you know, now you have direct access to the people that care about what you're doing, no matter what you're doing, which is amazing. It really is.
You can create your own ecosystem.
Yeah.
You can create your own thing. And that's where, like, I feel like, you know, a lot of people fight it and a lot of people are mad at it. And a lot of people have, you know, there's all kinds of feelings towards it that we've talked about, but it really
have
is
those feelings sometimes.
Building something where you have the ability to really implement change. This is the reason to be successful, guys. You know, don't just half-ass it and say, okay, you know, I'm just going to settle. No, go big. Go big. Why not go big?
Players win games. Coaches win players. The question then is, how do you win the players? And you coach them well. They need to have confidence that when you're putting an offense or a defensive system in around them, that what you're instructing them to do on the football field is accurate and sound and gives them a great opportunity to compete and win.
Eventually you fall, right? You fall on your ass and you see that you've got to make a real pivot, a real change, something from the inside out. And that's why I really believe success is an inside job. I'm ecstatic with what's around the corner. I know that because I'm not living in fear, I don't have anxiety about what's coming. I live in faith, and so I have excitement.
It's really hard to achieve anything beyond what you believe is possible, especially your belief about yourself. Your brain is like this incredible supercomputer, and your self-talk is a program it will run. So if you tell yourself, I'm not good at remembering names, you won't remember the name of the next person you meet because you program your computer not to. If people truly understood how powerful their mind is, they wouldn't say or think something they didn't want to be true. And that's not to say you have negative thought and ruins your life any more than eating a donut will ruin your life. But if you eat that donut 30 times a day, every single day, there will definitely be consequences. Same thing with our thoughts.
The one finite resource that we have is time, right? that's something that you can't take back. You can't necessarily turn back the clock. We don't have any medicine right now to turn back the clock. If you're optimizing your health and you're trying to maximize your health span, which is your quality of life, and you're trying to, the name of the game in life is to compress morbidity, and that means to compress the time where you're sick. You essentially are getting some of that time back. So if you're constantly working that in the forefront, you're going to gain more quality years in the end. So you are buying time. So I kind of argue, if you treat your health as just an integral part of your life, you are getting some time in the back end. You are investing for the future. If you don't do that, you're going to lose those years.
We have to eliminate willpower as much as we can. Willpower doesn't work. If you're going to rely a lot on willpower, that's one of the reasons a traditional North American diet doesn't work. So it's black or white. You're either fasting or you're feasting. My philosophy from early on is strength and conditioning. I always believed in, okay, let's keep a fast pace going. If you're hitting a push or a chest day, let's supplement that while you're recovering from that and do something else that's going to keep your heart rate elevated, or do upper lower. So I call it PHAST, Peripheral Heart Action Strength Training. So I want the heart pumping head to toe.
This has been Right About Now with Ryan Alford, a Radcast Network production. Visit ryanisright.com for full audio and video versions of the show, or to inquire about sponsorship opportunities. Thanks for listening.